part-time was important. No risk or liability. Just like I mentioned, I was opening up a new office, so I didn't have the funds available, obviously, to do that, to really start. And, I was risk adverse, put it that way. And so I was very concerned about the time and effort it took into the business and excuse me, the risk and liability. And then unlimited. See, I was willing to put my time and effort in this because it was unlimited income potential. The guy who shared this with me, incidentally, here's what attracted me to it. He drew out a little income curve. He said, this is money, this is time. Most people, 90% of the people out there, either hourly commission or salary, employed or self-employed, sell their time for money. In other words, kind of renting their life. And their income goes up. And once they max out, it peaks out. And typically, retiring much less than what they were making before retirement. He said, we can come along, not changing what you're doing, adding to what you're doing, but not impacting what you're doing. Put in level effort, starting off at 2 to 4 hours a week, gain more time, you put more time into as your business grows, and have an income curve that looks like this. In other words, part-time effort to create full-time or better income. That appealed to me. I thought, if that's possible, not only will I do my due diligence, but if that's possible, I'll invest my time into it, especially when it's only 2 to 4 hours a week to start off with. That's what attracted me. I didn't understand all the other details. That's what attracted me. And then the fourth thing, and I didn't write it down here, which is the most important thing to me, was it in line with my principles and values? Was it good for me and my family and other people? And I checked that box too, and that's why I started building it. And I would not be sitting here today sharing this with you if that wasn't the truth. And so what do you really want? For me, again, you got to really look at what you want, because everything starts with why. See, if you don't know why you're going to do something, chances are you won't do it or do it very long. And so is it a new house? I was just reading the statistic the other day. I was going to put it up here. What it takes to buy a house today and what it will take in 2023 compared to last year. And it's astounding. I mean, within inflation being somewhere around 8 to 9% right now, you actually have to double your income in less than 10 years to be able to keep pace with the cost of living. Now, I don't know if your income's going up, 10% a year or more. Mine certainly wasn't, because my time was peaked out. I was peaked out in real estate. That's why I opened a real estate office to maybe generate a little bit more using a little bit of leverage. And honestly, it wasn't very good leverage at the time. And because, that was the only thing available for me. And that's why I got involved in this. So maybe it's a house payment, maybe buying a new house, upgrading your house, car payment, reducing debt. That was a huge thing for me. I had a lot of stress because I had a lot of debt in my life. Going back to school was definitely not on my list. But traveling more, I love the travel, especially, tropical places, and building retirement, because honestly, in real estate at that time, there was no retirement really. I mean, how many retirement parties have you seen for realtors lately? I mean, come on. Anyway, so business ownership was always important to me. I don't think I was ever, I designed to work for somebody else, to be honest with you. And I'm not putting that down at all. It just wasn't for me. And then pursuing hobbies. I got a lot of hobbies, are expensive ones. And then really the most important is right here. And that's why I put a picture of my family there. I want to be a full-time dad. I want to be a full-time husband, full-time friend, and all I did was work. And I worked more than I did anything else. And I just, my wife and I got married to spend more time with each other, have children, and all that. And really, when we got married and started our professions, we spent less time together. And that wasn't very good for our relationship. And so that's the most important thing. Most important thing was my time freedom. And not only, and think about this. What's the definition of success? I heard this years ago, and it's so true. And that is doing what you want, when you want, with whom you want, anytime you want, without the restrictions of time and money and location. I mean, freedom of location, live anywhere you want to live and still have ongoing income. That's pretty powerful. And that happens for a lot of people in this business when they're willing to follow the program and put in the time and effort. And so it's not get rich quick. anything anybody knows who has any experience out there that get rich quick allows you to get poor faster, right? Okay. And so most people out there, and we fell in this category too, we didn't have any financial margin. All our money was spoken for. All our money had a home, so to speak. And what's margin? That's that buffer between what you make and what you spend. And for me, there was no margin. And I mean, we had some great months, and then we had some really down months. It was kind of up and down, actually. And so what kind of margin, what would you need on an ongoing basis and in the bank to have margin in your life? You know, there was a research done years ago during the economic crisis back in the 2000s. People were losing their homes left and right. They did a survey and they said, okay, on the average, how much extra income would you need to have on a monthly basis to keep your home? It was between $300 and $400. Wow. I mean, it's pretty scary, actually. And so remember, I showed that curve where you invest time and effort and create income beyond your own time and effort. Well, the same amount of time and effort it takes to create margin in your life can create financial stability and financial independence and wealth, if you will, if you're willing to keep that time up for a longer period of time, right? But not where you're working 12, 14 hours a day, 6, 7 days a week like I was in real estate. I think high water mark in this business was 15 hours a week for me. So that's like vacation compared to what I was doing. And I knew to create that margin in my life, I needed that new money, more cash flow coming in life, and something that leveraged my time. I learned all about leveraging money. The problem was investments are more long-term. You know, anything that gives you a short-term return has a very high risk to it. And look at the marketplace today. Look at the stock market. Look what's going on out there today. And in fact, a lot of people just hanging on to their cash, waiting for opportunity. And guess what? The wealthier do get wealthier. Okay, during bad economic times. Now, where does our business differ from other business models? There's a thing called supply chain. And boy, do we hear a lot about that today. It's kind of messed up a little bit, but we hear a lot about supply chain. So typically, products start somewhere, rolled at a manufacturer. They go through several hands before we receive it as a consumer. Now, the price of that product goes up. Not the value, but the price, because there's expenses for marketing, staffing, distribution. And how many people know free shipping is not really free? Somebody's paying for it. You're paying for it by buying the product. So it's built in there somehow. And so over the last several decades, companies that have made big strides in the marketplace, like, you know, they first started out with chain store operations like Sears, JCPenney, Montgomery Ward's, all these kind of people are all what their goal is to get the product from the manufacturer to the consumer with the most reasonable time, with the most convenient and the most profit. Well, when the big box stores came out, starting with Kmart and then Walmart, you know, Circle K, or not Circle K, is that Target, all these other companies, they basically, you know, kind of did the warehouse concept, where they bought things in bulk and people could buy in bulk, all those kinds of things. And then the Amazon comes along and they kind of dwarf everything. Now Walmart's keeping up with them. Well, not keeping up with them, but are competitive out there because they have the resources to be on the internet. So the rules of business changed in the early 90s. And companies like Amazon and so forth, and you know the stories, okay? All they did was figure out a better way to get the product from the manufacturer to the consumer with the best cost to the consumer with the most profit to them. And that's exactly what it was about. And all we do simply in this business is, rather than having a big brick and mortar store or, you know, running everything ourselves, we partner with a company which allows us to position ourselves in the supply chain as an independent business owner without all the, conventional cost and risk of owning a conventional business. I mean, basically, we can do this with our smartphone. I run my whole business on a smartphone using Zoom, everything. It's pretty amazing. And we partner with a company that takes care of all the brick and mortar responsibilities and everything like that, which I'll explain as we go along. So we position ourselves in the middle, and all we do is direct traffic, really. Direct traffic to the internet through the largest alternate distribution system available today for our type of business. and direct traffic there. And we share in a profit in the middle that normally went to other people. Okay. And I like to look at it this way. I'd much rather put my children through college rather than store owners. Not that I have anything against stores or anything like that, but it's my money I'm spending. I'd like to turn my money I'm spending anyway, into profit for our household. So what we do is we teach you to set up a modular business, independent business. You're an independent business owner. I mean, minimal cost to get involved in this thing and minimal effort too, because you can ramp it up. Okay, very few businesses can you earn as you learn, or self-funding, and which I'll explain as we go along. But basically, we teach you to develop this modular business where there's you and your own personal use. Okay, because all of us are consumers, all of us buy products, service, goods, and buy them from somewhere. Link up some customers so you become a legitimate business because it involves having customers. And then teaching other people to do the same thing. And that's what I'm going to explain as I go along here. Not only are we the business owner, obviously we're the consumer also. And it's a huge amount of volume is generated through consumption. And so our primary markets, and it's health, fitness, and energy. And man, is that a huge thing, since especially with the pandemic, that hopefully we're all through that now. But I mean, a heightened awareness of immunity products, heightened awareness of supplementation, vitamins and food supplements, and eating right and exercising, look at Peloton went off the chart as far as growth during that period of time. Now it's struggling now because, everybody bought one. And, but I mean, it's just amazing. It's over $1 trillion industry. And we have some of the best companies. Actually, we're number one on the internet. Number one in the world in vitamin supplement company. In other words, health and wellness. And then beauty and skincare. I mean, every commercial you see is all about looking better, feeling better, all that kind of stuff. We have all those products. And you think about it, 10,000 people turn 65 every day, and they don't look 65. I mean, when I was growing up, 65 looked old, okay, like 1 foot in the grave almost. And but boy, today's 65, it's like yesterday's 45. I'm claiming 35. I mean, just we're much healthier and everything like that, which also creates another issue on our society. And that is people are living longer and outliving their money. So not only do we have the product, service, and goods to really live a healthier lifestyle, but we also have the income that comes along with it done properly to supplement or even create financial independence. And the consumable products, these are products we use every day. Before I left my home, actually I left my master bedroom, go to my office in my house, I probably use 10, 15 products, and I'm going to use them anyway. Now I get paid to use them because they're out of my own business. They support my own business. And we have all those products, brush your teeth, all the personal care items, home care items, vitamins, supplements, food bars, all these kind of are all through over 400 products. And I'll go through this. We'll go through. These are exclusive brands, high margins, artistry. We're one of the top cosmetic and skincare companies in the world. I mean, and now that they have a thing called, skin nutrition. And skin nutrition is the health, the skincare products have nutritional supplements in it, including, plant-based, CBDs, all these kind of things that have been proven to be cutting edge in taking care of yourself. Incidentally, the biggest organ we have in our body is our skin, right? So we have all those kinds of products. In fact, Miss America pageant several years ago, Artistry sponsored the Miss American pageant for over 2 years. All the contestants were using all the high quality products, and they change, they switch their makeup and everything all the time, which if they don't have the really good stuff, it's really bad on their skin. And ours was exceptional, and they raved about it. And one of the products, the light lip gloss, was a Consumer Choice Award for over 2 years. Very high quality. iCook is incidentally, iCook is the #1 selling cookware in the world today. And you may not recognize it because it's only marketed through our distribution system. And but it started out as Queen cookware. It's all over the world, very high quality. We bought ours over 20 years ago and never an issue with it except tightening the handle every once in a while. And then Satinique is our salon quality hair care. Now we have people in our business who own salons that say this is every bit as good, if not better, than what they offer in their salons, much better and more reasonable pricing. And then Nutrilite is the world leading vitamin and food supplement company. It was founded in 1934 by a guy named Carl Renberg, who actually invented the multivitamin. and just been phenomenal company all these years. And then Atmosphere Sky, and eSpring. These are our air filtration and water filtration or water purification systems. I mean, the air and water is going to get filtered or purified either by your body, or probably should have a purification system. Incidentally, these are #1 selling in their categories in the market today. And Glister is our oral care, very high quality. We have dentists that say that's the best they've ever seen. Amway Home Products, been around since 1959, very high quality. In fact, they won 2 environmental impact awards from the United Nations for their environmentally safe products. They were good stewardship long before it was popular, long before green was anything but a color, or before green was cool, right? They did it for the right reasons. And then Excess, which I'll go into a little bit, is an energy drink company that is all part of this conglomerate of companies. And they just several years ago went into sports nutrition. They have some of the best products in that area. And here's some of them right here. Here's Nutrilite is, in fact, this perfect pack is, I like to call it the Ferrari of vitamins. I mean, it's just, they're exceptional. And this is a combination, has several different vitamins and packages, including the XX, which is the standard out there. There's no other product like it. And so they package it for morning and evening, much easier. So I could just, especially traveling, nice to carry that with me. And then obviously the XX is kind of like the Rolls Royce of vitamins. And then the immunity pack with all the, very high quality, with the zinc and everything you need from an immunity standpoint of view. And incidentally, they figured out a few years ago that it's better to name the product for what it does rather than the ingredients in it. Okay, now all the ingredients are listed and everything, but I mean vision health. What's that for? Well, it's for your vision, right? Okay, memory builder. What's that for? Your memory. Got to remember to take it though. And then joint health. That's what? I mean, as I get older, man, this glucosamine and joint health is powerful. And then less stress for more yes. I mean, who wants less stress in their life? And then Raise for Days, and that has all the vitamin D and everything like that. During the pandemic, we're inside a lot, so we needed to have that. And then you have the daily vitamins. So they have vitamins at all different price points and all extremely high quality. And then Nutrilite Organics just came out last May, actually certified organic products. And I believe it's the only ones on the market that are mass marketed this way. And they even have gummies. They have the men's vitamin and gummies, the women's vitamin gummies. And I tell you what, my favorite is this plant. Incidentally, Nutrilite and Excess is the largest seller of protein in the world today. Protein powder. Our body is mostly protein, incidentally, and but a green superfood. But one of my favorite is a protein powder, especially the chocolate. It just tastes really well, and I put all sorts of other supplements in there for my smoothies in the morning, and just very high quality products. And then Artistry, which I was already mentioning about, that they have the skin nutrition. The cosmetic nutrition and, with the plant-based and all that, very high quality. In fact, I've been using this men's skincare for about 4 or 5 years now, and my dermatologist is pretty amazed about it. It is very high quality. I had rosacea and all sorts of stuff, and it just really helped me with that. And then here's the Excess energy drinks. We have 18 different flavors. They just came out with a watermelon one, which is really tasty. And so I have like the Summit, which is like a Mountain Dew or 7-Up in the morning, or citrus in the morning, and then lemon is really good. I mean, all this a root beer. I mean, it tastes like Hires or Dad's root beer. Really high quality, very good tasting, and yet 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and very few calories in it. And it's packed full of vitamin B12, and that's where the energy comes from. So it's not all the weird stuff that's in energy drinks, or, I was looking at this ad for an energy drink called Poison. That's really positive. I'm not sure I want to drink that. And anyway, so, and then they have CBD. That's now I use the 300 milligram one. I raced motocross when I was a kid. I still ride motocross, and I got aches and pains, and that stuff really is good. I put some on before I ride, put some on after I ride. It really is quality. And this is one of the top supplements in the world. We have professional athletes in our business that say, if there was a choice between if they could only have a few supplements for their health and athleticism, it would be the muscle multiplier. It has 9 branch chain amino acids in it, and it's really good. And I have that every day. And especially before I go and ride my motorcycle or something like that, I'll have some. And it's really defines your muscle. I mean, it's just very high quality. And then this energy focus. I mean, if you ever had those slows in the afternoon after lunch, boy, and it's natural. It's rhodiola root is what it is. It's natural. Have some of that. And I mean, it perks you right up. It's very good stuff. And then the food bars are exceptional. And so I'm not going to go into all the details. You can find that out. And then membership has its privileges. And, heard Steve Jones a couple of weeks ago talk about that he was arranging a trip for his son for their honeymoon. And he saved $150 a night in Hawaii. Over any of the other discounts, American Express or any of those. I had the same experience a little while ago. I went to a very expensive resort in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I saved over $100 a night on that resort. No, it's actually more than that, but I don't know the exact amount. Over $100. So all this, and incidentally, you can put your independent business owner number in there, and when you go to this site, and it will pick discounts on stores in your area, even local stores. And one of my favorite coffee places is Pete's, 30% off. Office Max, we go there all the time, and 50% off. I mean, just really high quality. And again, savings is like making money, right? So again, because of our buying power, we have over 350 partner stores available to us. And just go on there and check it out. It's well worth the membership alone. And so the company that put this all together for us is the Amway Corporation. Now, they've been around for a long time. They've been around since 1959. And I mean, how many companies been around since 1959 that have their fastest growth over the last few years? I mean, it's pretty rare, isn't it? That's because they've always stayed ahead of the marketplace. They went online back in 1999 and really kind of took e-commerce by storm. And had all these great reviews about it. I mean, very powerful and just a great online business. They were e-commerce before it was popular to be e-commerce. And actually, we kind of call it I-commerce. I-commerce is the power of the individual, infrastructure, and the internet. Very powerful combination. And so they've been around over 60 years, actually 63 years now, and 64 years. And they do over, I think this year it's over 8.5 billion in sales around the world. But they paid out, this is an old figure from 2018, $61.3 billion in compensation. They have number one compensation program in existence for this type of business. And it just got better September 1st, which I'll explain. And but they probably paid out over 70. In fact, they pay out more in compensation to independent business owners like you and I than most companies do in total volume a year. So it's pretty exceptional. They're number 11 of all companies in patent and patent pendings, 1, 2, or 3 in consumer loyalty, and over 38 product categories. They manufacture over 400 of their own products. They control the product from the seed to the serving or the shelf. And so they have total quality control and everything, and it's pretty exceptional when you look at the manufacturing. So we're all part of an organization called Independent Business Owner Association International, IBOAI, and they're in partnership. So we have this huge buying power. There's I think it's like 3 or 4 million independent business owners worldwide, and that's a huge buying power. So we are in partnership with this online powerhouse, the Amway Corporation. Now you could call Amway and say, "Hey, I want to be an Amway. I want to do Amway." They'll refer you to what we call accredited organizations. There's organizations out there, what they call approved providers, and we're one of them. There's about 35 of them or so, and we're one of them. But we are the largest in the world. There's over 1 million independent business owners linked up to us. And so Amway's responsibility in our partnership, because we're all in the Amway business, okay, is to provide the product, service, goods, provide all the shipping, all the back end office stuff, which is, the devil's in the details, right? That's a lot of stuff and responsibility. They do it all for us. We outsource it all to them. And their agreement with us is we'll move the volume. They'll pay us the compensation. So what we put together over years And I love to take credit for it. I just happen to be just like you, have to be fortunate enough to be shared this with Network 21 years ago. The people that eventually made up Network 21 is who shared the business with me, and they are the number one word. In fact, they developed a system out of the observation. Jim and Nancy Dornan, who founded the company, along with other top leaders at the time, they looked at thousands of successful people over a period of decades and found out what was common between them all to be as successful as they are, uber successful. And they compiled that, or benchmarked it, if you will, and compiled it all into what we call core best practice and built a system around it. And that's what we do. It works on every single continent. It's amazing how well it works. And what they provide is partnering, coaching, teamwork, community. They operate in over 40. In fact, they have headquarters in over 40 countries. They operate in all 140 countries and territories that Amway's in, and they translate in over 20 languages. It's amazing. I go on Zoom and I can hear a presentation in the Philippines, hear one in not Russia anymore, but Europe. I mean, all these different places, and they're teaching the same thing, just in their language with their culture. It's amazing. So I just recently brought somebody into the business in Europe, and they're becoming very successful at it. And I didn't go to Europe to get them started. I mean, and we started people in the Philippines and South Africa and Australia and, Mexico. I mean, just everywhere. And because people that know people that know people, what's that thing? 6 degrees of separation. I mean, you're 6 degrees away from everybody. I guess that's what it comes down to. It's amazing how this grows. And I've only personally brought in people really in Northern California, although it's expanded beyond that now in Texas and other places. I've personally brought people in, but my business is in all 50 states, and I think 30-something foreign countries and territories now. So I mean, it's amazing. But also what Network 21 has that nobody else has now. Everybody, not what do you say? Everybody is in the Amway business, but not everybody in the Amway business is in Network 21. It's very important to understand that distinction. There's a lot of different ways of doing this business. And what attracted me was what the core best practices of Network 21. Plus, they also own a lifestyle program, healthy living lifestyle program, live better, feel better, called Health Point. And it's helped well over 1 million people live better lives, lose weight, eat better, be more healthier. It's a powerful program. I've been on it, and I lost over 70 pounds on it. And it is a powerful, powerful program, and only available through Network 21. Of course, we use all the supplements and everything through the Amway business. And so how do you make the money? Now I'm going to go through this and I'll be done. Okay. I do recommend you get a hold of a video called How the Money Works. Explains in 6 minutes, what's going to take me longer than 6 minutes to explain, but it breaks it down to kind of see the method behind our madness. Okay, so all the products are as good. All the 400 plus products have what we call a point value to it. That's how you determine which bonus bracket you're in. That's the only reason that's in there, is to determine the bonus bracket. And then there's business volume, or I'm going to use it just for simplicity, dollar volume on a product. The ratio between point value and dollar volume for this example is 1 point equals about $3. Okay, so if you now it's pretty easy for a household. In fact, I think the survey outside this business says the average household, family of 4, probably spend somewhere around $770 a month on consumable type products that are available in this business. Okay, I'm going to use it. Let's say it's 300. Well, 300 would give you 100 points and get you to your first bonus bracket. Add the customers that you're going to add to the business, which are going to be serviced directly by the website. Very similar like Amazon works. You just refer them there. And in fact, my very first customer was my real estate office, actually. And you start expanding and building this personal profit center. So if you're doing 100 points, or let's say you're doing 150 points, probably 90 of it would be customers and 60 of it would be your own personal use. Just to kind of look at that ratio, which legitimizes the business, okay? And so that's how that works. How we generate the volume. First of all, the first 2 steps that we generate volume, which I've already talked about, and that is, number 1, you buy from yourself. You buy the product from yourself, use your anyway money, and start making money for the product you're already buying, right? Okay, and better quality, better brands through Network 20 or through Amway Corporation. So, and then we develop customers. Like my first one was my real estate company. My mom, people that weren't interested in getting into the business became my customers. People in our sphere of influence, our tribe, if you will, who we all support each other, buy our product, and the products were way better than what they were using. With these two steps, we generate, to start off with, about 150 points. Okay, 90 of it going to customers, and 60 of it in our own personal use. Okay, so to onboard on this business properly, because there is an apprenticeship program. When you get involved in business, you're going to learn about the products, you're going to learn how the system works, and you're going to make some money. So how you make the money in the beginning: you service a few customers, do about $300 worth of volume, no time limit on this, and now you've gone through the first step of learning the business. I mean, you won't learn it totally until you build it big, but I mean, learning the business and getting a good start, fund your business, and then that unlocks the ability to go out there and share with other people. We don't want you going out there untrained and not making money, right? So you're going to be a lot more effective. So what we do, that unlocks where the big money is. And that is expanding your business with other people. Just like a franchise, just like any business who's been successful with multiple locations, they've expanded their business. But first they perfected their model first. And then they went out there and duplicated over and over again. Very similar to what we're going to teach you to do, although it's already perfected. Okay, we already have it in place. It's been proven. Thousands of people have already been very, very successful with this business. But when you do that and you start to unlock it, now you can create income beyond your own time and effort, because it's not going to base on just your effort. So how do we do that? Very simply, you go out there and I love this quote by Robert Kiyosaki: the wealthiest people in the world look for and build networks while everybody else looks for work. So first of all, you start off doing your 150 points, and then you attract other people doing the same thing. It's all about attracting people to your business. And you go out there and share the business, and there's a lot of attracting personality to what we do. And if people are looking, they'll see it. Okay. And the way we explain it and everything. So when you put a structure in place like this, now obviously there's 4 people doing 150 in the first one, 2 people doing 150 in the second one, and then one just getting involved in business doing 150. That creates 1,200 points. That's going to be about $250. Well, starting September 1st, they put an incentive program in place called Core Plus. Core Plus starts off with what we call Bronze Foundation. And with Bronze Foundation, you'll get a boost in your bonus, a 30% boost in your bonus when you have this structure in place, when you have 3 teams at least at 3%. In other words, 3 teams at least doing 100 points each, along with you doing 150 points with 90 points of it going to customers. That's kind of the qualifications. Your income goes from $250 to $359. Pretty good boost in income. What's that? 30% boost in income, right? And then when you start expanding it up to the next level, when you help 3 of these teams get to 6%, you kick into what we call Bronze Builder. And Bronze Builder, by that time, you'll have about 5 teams in place. And again, these are examples. And by that time, your personal profit center will have increased a little bit. More customers, most likely, maybe a little bit more personal use. You're up at 300 points. Help these businesses get to these levels. And not only do you get in what the Bronze Builders bonus is, a 40% boost to your income. So a 40% increase of your income, which is $376. Pretty significant. And if you're building it properly and fast enough, you can also benefit on the Bronze Foundation, which is 30%. So 30% plus 40% is a 70% boost in income. So rather than $1,316.70, you would make $1,598. That is a significant income. That's $19,000 a year. We've seen people put this together. It's what we call in Network 21, we call this Executive Leaders Club. And we've seen people do that in 3 to 6 months. Some people never do it because they don't follow the program or put in the effort. And so this can be built pretty soon. Now, I don't know if you're going to get a $1,598 raise this next year in your income on a monthly basis. But let's take it out a little step further. Let's say as you expand, now the first time you hit this 7,500 points, your income is going to be about $2,500 a month. The average when you complete it for 12 months out of the year at least 7,500 points plus, in other words, it's 25% bonus level plus, your income is going to be between 56 and 180,000. Pretty large spread. Now, obviously, your effort is kicked up a little bit, and you probably will max out about 10 to 12 hours a week. Okay, and so if you were to qualify during that period of time, as you're building it for that 12 months, and qualify for the bronze builder and the bronze foundation, your income would jump 70% and would be $5,659 per month, or $67,900 a year. Now, when you maintain the volume for at least 12 months out of the year, okay, obviously there's only 12 months of the year, but it's what we call Q12, qualified 12. There's an $18,000 year-end bonus on top of that. So now you're at $85,906 a year in your business. How long will it take you? It's totally up to you. We've had people do it in I mean, probably the average is maybe 24 months. I don't know. Whatever it is. We've had people do it much quicker than that. And yeah, it's pretty powerful. In fact, we had somebody, Ben Physics, very top leader in Australia, was sharing about a person that just hit this level in their business in New Zealand. Average income was $8,500 a month. Wow. That's pretty exceptional. Pretty good part-time income. And so when you help 3 teams do that, plus maintain 7,500 outside, your income, in fact, the base income last year was 156,000. And then if you add the year-end bonuses, which they call the growth incentive bonuses, which is 75,000 this last year, plus the 21,000 for Q12, what is that? That's over another 100,000. That's what, 250,000. Now, it wasn't as lucrative as this when we hit this level in the business, but it took us about 4 years to hit this level in the business. And then the next year, we added more. See how many people you want to add, how many people, how many teams you want at 25%. And you qualify for the 6% leadership bonus on every one of those teams. It's not like when I got the business, it was only 3%, went up to 4%. Then recently, over the last few years, went up to 6%. I mean, it keeps it. What company does that? Okay. Hey, we're going to pay you more for what you did in the past. I mean, that's pretty wild when you think about it. Incidentally, all this is documented and filed with the FTC on this form called, you can go to www.n21.com/ABOB, which is Amway Business Opportunity Brochure. And you can see all these average incomes in it. Pretty powerful. And I mean, we know people with 20 of these. And we actually know, Jim and Nancy Dorner, I think they have 20 in several different countries, obviously doing well. Plenty of wood for the winter, plenty of food in the ground, not concerned about inflation as much. Gas prices don't bother them. I mean, all the kind. I know I'm funning around a little bit, but I mean, amazing what you can do with this business. And they're just like, they started in the same place that you and I did, at zero, and they built it from there. And so it took us just less than 5 years to help 6 people do this. And actually, we had 7 come over that same year. We've helped over 10 now. But at this level here, when you hit this, I think the average, if you look at that brochure, is about 500-some-thousand. It goes all the way to 1.8 million or something. I mean, it's a huge amount, or 2.6 million. It's a bunch of money. And so it can be whatever you want. I almost hesitate to share those big figures because it's really, it's based on what you do. I mean, but isn't it great? We get to choose. We get to choose how much money we make. We get to choose the amount the check is filling, all those direct deposit into our account by the effort we put in. And you put the effort in the right areas, which Network 21 teaches you, you'll be there. And what's your next step? Register with Amway as an independent business owner. You'll get a product stack, which I'll show you here in a couple of minutes. Just subscribe to Network 21 optional education, and we'll show you how to do that. And build 2 lists. List of potential customers, list of potential teammates. and we'll show you what to do with that. It's all, kind of, you're in business for yourself and not by yourself. It's Earn as You Learn program. Schedule a getting started session with your coach. You're going to get an onboarding guide. It's like a total workbook pamphlet. I mean, it looks like this right here. Okay. You're going to get this when you get started in business with the builder's pack, which I'll share in a minute. And then set of a series of attainable goals. In fact, in that workbook, it first starts out with why, and then goal setting, and then the structure and how you build the business, and then engage with your coaching team. We have several opportunities. I know that November 12th, I think, coming up. We have a Connect 21 webcast that you can plug into and learn more about the business. And then we have some major events coming up called winter conferences in January. Get around the team, get around the people. There's so much synergy and so much, it will do so much for you. And then get into action. If you know your why, we can show you how. What's the old saying? When the student's ready, the teacher shows up. And boy, do we have a lot of teachers and we have a lot of information and it's all proven. We're not guessing here. Okay. Suffice to say, we can help you get whatever you want in this business if you're willing to follow the process. See, if you don't change direction, you'll end up where you're headed. That's by Jim Dornan. And here's that product stack, we call it, product pack. Ranges between 143, I think goes all the way up to $289, something like that. You choose. There are certain products you can choose based on your taste and so forth, what you want to put in your product stack. And also you get $40 worth of sample products you can hand out so you can start building your personal profit center. And here's what I recommend. Builder's Pack is well over $200 value for $99. You'll get a ticket for the Connect 21 coming up on November 12th, plus a ticket that's worth like $200 to go to winter conference on the East Coast or West Coast in January. Plus, you'll get this onboarding guide I showed you. And that onboarding guide is so complete, goes through all that information, no guesswork, and it's kind of like fill in or connect the dots. Okay, very, very simple. And then you get a month free of the pro subscription for the mobile app. And that's about a $79 value. So add that all up, it's well over $200 value. We highly recommend it. If you're serious, we highly recommend you get started this way, and it's going to be the best way to do it. And so what's next? Tonight, get back to the person who introduced this to you and invited you on this webcast. If they don't call you right after this, you get back to them. If you're looking at this for the second or third time, hey, pull the trigger and do it. Incidentally, I didn't mention this, but through the product, all the products and goods, even the entrance into the business is 100% satisfaction guaranteed for 180 days. I mean, think about it. I wish I would have had that with my real estate office. Anyway, so get back to them and let them know your level of interest. Tell them, what option interests you. If you're willing to invest the time, 2 to 4 hours a week, and follow the process, get the builder's pack and everything, become an independent business owner. If you're not willing to do that, maybe it's best to start off as an exclusive customer and kind of, acclimate yourself into the business. Get exclusive products delivered to your door with perks, free shipping, 180 day, and free shipping over $79 or $99, and 180 day, 100% satisfaction guaranteed delivered to your door at best products in the marketplace. And so, a few questions to ponder. Do you shop online and buy these kinds of products anyway? I know these are loaded questions. Would you like to do what you're already doing and make money doing it? What if you lost your primary source of income? Being self-employed just scared the heck out of me because I didn't really have ongoing income, didn't have anything in place. If I lost my ability to produce, our family would be hurting. We'd be 120 days away from losing everything. And so that scared me. What if it works and you didn't give it a try? See, the person that shared this business with me, I didn't know at the time when he was sharing it with me, he was already making more money at this than he was in real estate. And he was the #1 realtor. And he didn't have to really work the real estate business anymore. And he soon retired after that, kept his license, but retired after that. And so I didn't want him to come back to me 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now and say, you should join me. I've missed out on some opportunities in my life. And they say, psychologists say that we really have 2 big chances in our life to make it big. I missed one of them. I wasn't going to miss it again. And so today, what else? For sure. There's a lot of deals out there. Just look at the internet. Guess what? There's very few they're going to get you where you want to go. I mean, what else for sure has the track record, years and years, over 64 years of track record of helping people get where they want to go, helping them accomplish their goals and dreams. So what else for sure will get you what you want? See, if you decide to invest the time and go to one in life, it doesn't matter. This is the best equalizer there is. A paid for performance period. Doesn't matter your background, doesn't matter your ethnicity, doesn't matter any of that stuff. It's paid for performance period, and we can help you. So what's important to you? Think about it. Where do you want to be in life? And one of the things I recommend, most successful people I've ever met have what they call a vision board. They picture what they want. See, all a dream is a picture in your mind's eye of what success means to you. What does that mean to you? What picture do you want? I recommend you start doing it. So your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. When's the best time to plant a tree? 25 years ago. Next best time, today. Your future self will thank you for it. So a year from now, you're going to say, I wish I would have. I'm glad I did.